from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this evening, tracking a fresh new tornado warning we now have in effect for portions of Charles County as we continue to see this cold front move through the region, bringing with it a severe weather risk. We have that severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 9 o'clock tonight for the entire region, but I want to get you right into what we are tracking with an active tornado warning. This is a tornado warning that is currently in effect for portions of northwestern Charles County. Let me go ahead and get you the latest look here on radar on the region that we're tracking. It's this area here in pink. So this is going to be including areas of Port Tobacco, Pomfret, Marbury, Pittsburgh. This is just to the south of Indian Head, Pomoki, on over towards Bentonville, and just to the west of White Plains. Getting you into the warning text here from the National Weather Service. This tornado warning is in effect until 6:30, so for about the next 5 minutes or so here for northwestern Charles County. At 6:17, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Quantico, Virginia, and moving east at about 55 miles per hour. The National Weather Service estimates this storm to be moving into the La Plata area here around 6:20, which I think is probably just a bit off base here, but we're going to continue to watch this storm as it moves here to the north and east. So again, this area here in pink, including areas of La Plata back to the west, really looking at the Pittsburgh area, currently under the gun for this potential tornado-producing severe thunderstorm that is moving here to the east. We can see on William Richmond Inc. TrueView radar this evening where the storm is located. I want to get you the latest look here at our base velocity, and this really does help to tell the story of where we may be looking at those direct signs of rotation. Generally, where we have these areas here in red, that would indicate winds going away from the radar, kind of curving like that, and areas in green represent winds going towards the radar, are generally a little bit more like this. That shows us that we have that rotation sitting right over Pittsburgh right now, moving to the east at about 55 miles per hour. If we zoom in here, try to get a look at what we're talking about. We're talking right over State Route 425, nearing 225. I want to see if I can't just get some road names here for us. You can see we're talking Winston Vines Place, Stuckey Road, on over towards Mount Holly Place, Arlo Place, and Bumpy Oak Road. When we're looking at a tornado warning that again is in effect for about the next 5 minutes or so here for northwestern portions of Charles County, these are going to be your tornado safety precautions. You want to be moving indoors to a building with a solid foundation. In storms like these, we're not going to be looking at a building that has that's like a trailer or any kind of awning or anything like that. We want a secure building with that foundation. Once we're inside that building, we want to be getting to the lowest level of that structure. Ideally, that's going to be a basement, but many of us here in Southern Maryland don't have basements, which is okay. That first floor can be an all-right spot, but then this next point becomes even more important. You want to shield yourself, right? You want as many walls between you and the outside as possible in the event that we do have a quick spin-up tornado here that moves through. I tend to give the story in these situations of what my mother used to do back when I was living in Lusby. We didn't have a basement. We lived in a ranch-style home, and we only had one room in the building that was not an exterior-facing room. And that was our bathroom. So my mother get me and my younger sister into the bathroom, into the tub with a mattress overhead, which maybe seems a bit dramatic, but if there's flying debris, that's going to be something that can help protect you. And we just want to ride this warning out here for the next couple of minutes. Let's get you back on over to live William Richmond Inc. radar. Newest velocity scans coming in showing that the core of this rotation looks to now be moving here into the Pomfret area. We're getting right towards Marshall Corner Road with this, Great Oaks Place, getting on over towards Chapel Springs. Let's see, other location, Lark Haven Drive. All of these areas remain under this under this tornado warning here until 6:30, which is about the next couple of minutes or so. So definitely something that we are going to continue to want to keep an eye on. That's going to get you back towards versions of radar that we are more typical with. And as we zoom out, we can see that we have this long line of thunderstorms that extends from the DC area down to the south towards Fredericksburg, down towards Rutherford Glen, all the way down towards Richmond, honestly. And this is going to be what we are watching here. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Charles County. It's actually a larger area. If I take radar off quickly, it's going to be this area here from the Plata back towards Pomoki, back towards Quantico. This is a interesting type of severe thunderstorm warning because this warning denotes the outward probability and chances here of seeing winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. This is a warning that also goes till 6:30, so we'll be getting an update here soon from the National Weather Service on what they want to do with these warnings as these storms continue to move to the east. For those of you just now tuning in, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you here in the JB Weather Center, continuing to track the latest on our tornado warning storm beginning to move through portions of Charles County. To me, the core of this rotation looks to be to the north of La Plata, looks to be going through the Pittsburgh into the Pomfret area. And it looks like with what we have coming in from the National Weather Service, we may be able to go ahead and cancel this tornado warning. And it looks like they have allowed for this warning to expire. The National Weather Service, going ahead and letting that warning expire here for us. But I'm still going to be watching this area of rotation here, moving into the Pomfret area, getting towards White Plains here over the next 15 minutes or so. And if we look at the way that this, velocity, what this version of radar shows us, radar can do a lot of things. It can show us where it's raining, how hard that rain is. It also can show us where there are winds and what direction those winds are going in. Areas shaded in red, those are winds moving away from the radar. So generally in a way looking like this. Areas in green showing winds going towards the radar a bit like this. So we can see that kind of twisting and turning in the atmosphere here right over the Pomfret area. And again, moving here to the north and east. But as of right now, that tornado warning has been allowed to expire for northwestern Charles County. As we take a bigger zoom out, we still have an active severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 7 o'clock. Let me get you the latest warning text here. And actually, we have a brand new tornado warning now coming in live here. Let's go ahead and actually get to the latest on that before we get too far ahead of ourselves with the severe thunderstorm warning. So brand new severe thunderstorm warning coming in here for northern portions of Charles County. This is going to be going until 6:45. For this storm that, again, we were just saying is right over the Pomfret area. That is going to be moving here to the north and east at about 45 miles per hour. The latest coming in from the National Weather Service states that this tornado warning for north central Charles County will go until 6:45. At 6:30, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near La Plata and moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. Right now, this is radar indicated rotation. Let me show you this area here shaded in pink. This is radar indicated rotation, and for those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris could become dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur in this kind of a storm, and mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed, and tree damage will be likely. This storm will be near the Waldorf and St. Charles areas here by about 6:35, so knocking on the door right now. Other areas impacted by this storm included but are not limited to Northwood, Pomfret, and Brandywine. You want to take cover now, move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. You want to avoid windows. And if you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter to protect yourself from flying debris. At this time, we are still only looking at a radar indicated sense of rotation. With this storm, again, we are talking Pomfret getting into the Bentonville area, just north of White Plains, into St. Charles, Waldorf, and then getting on up towards Mattawoman. As we take a look at the latest velocity scan here to really get an idea of where this rotation may be coming through, and we're getting a scan, looks like coming in as we speak. I want to see if this is that come in live. We can see that this rotation right now is crossing 227, getting into the White Plains area. Middletown Road looks to be the area that's currently under the gun with this storm. Smallwood Drive West. We have St. Patrick's Drive, Billingsley Road on over towards other areas over here. Again, we mentioned Middletown Road for you. Clifford Drive. Again, these are all the regions we're going to be tracking here. And this storm is beginning to lift out of the Pittsburgh area. Radar still indicates with these bright yellows that we have winds gusting upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour. And yeah, we can see right where we have this potential rotation with this storm coming right through the palm front area, curving around like this, and then we have winds getting fed into the storm a little bit like this. So you can see that natural turning and twisting here with these storms as they continue to move through Charles County. Now looking at Waldorf, we're talking White Plains, St. Charles, Waldorf, Mattawoman here over the next 10 minutes or so, really under the threat from this storm that is moving here to the north and east at 45 miles per hour. For those just now joining, this tornado warning is really prompting this threat for much of northern Charles County. For those in this warning, you're going to be moving indoors to a building with a solid foundation. We're looking for a house or a business or something of that sort. A trailer or any kind of shed isn't really going to be providing the shelter we need from a storm like this. Once we're in that substantial shelter, we're moving to the lowest level of that shelter. Ideally, a basement, right? You want to get below ground. But if that is not possible, a first floor is okay. But then again, that last point becomes even more important. You want to be putting as many walls between you and yourself, between yourself and the outside as possible, right? You want to protect yourself from any flying debris that could be getting lofted, in the very least from damaging winds that could be moving through. Taking you back on over towards radar, I'm going to take a look at reflectivity mode, and we can really begin to see where this potential hook echo could be here. Really kind of rotating around, getting here into the White Plains area, St. Charles. This is going to be going parallel to 301 here, again, crossing 227. We're talking Middletown Road. This continues to be an area that we're watching. If you're anywhere around these roads that I am naming, you want to be in that tornado safe spot right now for about the next 10 or 15 minutes. This isn't going to be all evening, but this is something that we want to take note of. Again, Billingsley Road is an area we're going to be tracking. Smallwood Drive, Markby Court, on over towards Silent Creek Road, St. Patrick's Drive, Smallwood Drive, as we had mentioned, getting on over towards Smallwood Parkway. All of these areas here getting into this densely packed area of northern Charles County here into the Waldorf area. And it is, if I take off radar, again, this area here shaded in pink that we're going to continue to watch as this storm continues to move north and east. This is a severe, this is a tornado warning in effect until 6:45 as the storm begins to lift to the north and east here. Bigger picture, areas here shaded in yellow are under a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a point that we were just talking about before the new warning came in. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7 o'clock. This is going to include northwestern St. Mary's County, all of Charles County, and most of Prince George's County. Kind of, you think the Patuxent River there, areas to the west, that's really going to be the zone that we are looking at. At 6:09, so about half an hour ago, we saw this line of severe thunderstorms take shape, and they were extending from a line from Stafford down, from Burke down towards Stafford, and we were looking at winds between 60 to 70 miles per hour with this line of storms as it continues to move here to the east. Taking a look at our latest radar scan, you can really see this area that we are talking about from the DC area down south towards Rutherford Glen. Here over the next hour, we'll be pushing to the east. So areas in St. Mary's and Calvert County, I would be getting prepared for this. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for the entire region till 9, letting you know that severe thunderstorms are definitely going to be possible. And right now, the imminent threat area we have is here getting into the Waldorf area in northern Charles County. See that we've had an influx of viewers, so welcome on in. I'm Forecaster John Bordash here with you in the JB Weather Center, continuing to track what is turning into a very active evening here as we watch as storms begin to move into the region that are beginning to rotate. We've been talking all day today that we have this warm front that is sitting nearby that is helping to induce a bit of rotation in the atmosphere along with that instability. We were quite warm, we were humid today, we saw some breaks in the sunshine, and this has allowed for these storms to bubble up, and with that warm front nearby adding that twisting and turning to the atmosphere, we can see storms tap into that, and that's what we have right now moving through northern portions of Charles County. We are looking at this tornado warning in effect Again, northern Charles County getting into Waldorf, White Plains. Let's go ahead and let's clear some stuff off, and let's get you that latest warning text here from the National Weather Service. And I want to actually take radar off for the time being so we can get a nice look at the area under this warning. The National Weather Service has issued this tornado warning for Charles County until 6:45. This is north central Charles County. At 6:30, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Pomfret, but now is beginning to lift north towards the Waldorf area. And this is moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. This is radar indicated rotation right now, so I am not seeing any confirmed reports of a tornado on the ground. This is still radar indicated rotation. Still something that we want to take seriously, though. For those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, windows may occur. Mobile homes could be damaged or destroyed with damaging winds, and tree damage is definitely going to be possible. This storm is currently moving through the Waldorf and St. Charles area and eventually moving on up towards the Brandywine area. So again, it is this area here in pink that we are watching. We've been talking about Middletown Road being kind of the epicenter for this right now. Smallwood Drive, you are up next. McDaniel Road, you'll be seeing the impacts from this storm as well. Western Parkway, Marsh Hawk Drive, Falcon Place, Constitution Drive, Sun Valley Drive, and really areas along 301 from St. Charles on up towards the county line on over towards Mattawoman. These are going to be areas that we're going to continue to watch here over the next 5 minutes as this severe thunderstorm continues to move north and east at 45 miles per hour. We are getting our latest radar scans in now, and I do want to show you over the last little bit here what this storm has had to offer us over the last half hour or so. We can see this storm working its way out of Virginia, getting into western Charles County and towards La Plata, then beginning to lift north and now getting into the Waldorf area. Really, as we saw two storms kind of collide and come together over Stafford County, really helped to increase that rotation we had in the atmosphere. Taking a look now, let's get you to the latest scan here of radar. I want to show you areas on this version of radar in red indicate where radar is saying, we have winds, and we have winds moving away from the radar. So this is going to be kind of sitting right over, and actually we just got a radar update. I want to go ahead and get into that. As we see this storm now moving through Waldorf, getting into the Mattawoman area. Make sure I have, there we go. So this is sitting right on top of 301, getting very close to that 301 Route 5 interchange there through St. Charles, really getting into that Mattawoman region. And we have winds generally working this way away from the radar, and we then have winds being drawn into this storm. So this is now passed through Pomfret, through Bennsville, through White Plains, at least the highest area of concern with this storm, continuing to lift north and east. Now beginning to get into the Mattawoman region. So areas to me, south and west of Waldorf and St. Charles, I think you are clear to come out of those tornado safe spaces. But Waldorf itself, St. Charles getting into Mattawoman, this is really coming right now into your region, and we want to be in those tornado safe places as this storm continues to move here to the north and east. If I were to put a storm track on this, that would actually probably be very helpful to get an idea of where this puppy is heading to. Let me make sure I have a, yep, get 60, let's go ahead and get this drawn here. Moving at about, I don't know if I want, let's get over the next half hour or so with this storm as it pushes north and east. So we're moving about 45 miles per hour. So we are going to generally see this get into Mattawoman here over the next, honestly, just about now, but radar's estimating here over the next 3 or 4 minutes. Brandywine, you'll be up next as we get towards about 6:52. Chatham, Rosaryville, Chrome, Upper Marlboro by about 7 o'clock or so, and Bristol just after the 7 o'clock hour. This again, warning remains up for portions of northern Charles County, and it looks like, as of right now, this warning may have been allowed to get dropped, which is a bit surprising to me. given that look we just saw here on velocity. I mean, maybe they're going to be redrawing a brand new polygon here. But if I'm in the Mattawoman area, Brandywine, Baden, I am still going to be monitoring this storm as it moves here to the north and east. Again, I'm really looking at Route 5 area, 301, 381. Brandywine, Baden, you would be up next in the very least to see some pretty strong winds coming out of this storm, upwards of 60, 65, maybe even 75 miles per hour as this continues to move north and east. We also have heavy rain extending down to the south, getting through Port Tobacco, Newburgh, down towards the Wicomico River down here, Belle Alton. These are all going to be regions that we're going to be watching for heavy rain. I'm not seeing much in the way of any rotation down here. Just natural winds kind of ebbing and flowing a bit thanks to our storm collision. And perhaps we're seeing, our rotation here over the Waldorf area being allowed to, or maybe expanding a bit, weakening, broadening a bit. When we are looking for potential tornadic development with storms, we're looking for tight rotation. Think of a ballerina dancer, right? Or an ice skater, really. When an ice skater's on the ice, the closer she brings in or he brings in his arms, the faster that they're going to spin. That's what we look for with tornado development. And right now, it looks like that rotation may be broadening just a bit, allowing things to relax, but I am still seeing a lot of wind with this storm as it continues here to push to the north and east. And that severe thunderstorm warning remains up for the next 15 minutes for all areas west of the Patuxent River, getting through Charles and Prince George's County. I do want to see if we can get a look at any gusts. I don't know, this product's been a bit weird here over the last few months, and yeah, that might be okay. But we will continue to watch this storm as it pushes here to the north and east. Radar is trying to suggest that perhaps we have a little bit of rotation trying to sneak back up, but as of right now, no active warnings on this storm as it moves here into northern Charles, not getting the southern PG County, getting a fresh new radar scan in here, and we can see this rotation now crossing out of Charles County, getting into PG County. If I were to draw back on here for you, this is our velocity mode on radar. Areas in red represent winds going away from the radar, generally like that. Areas in green represent winds going towards the radar in a fashion generally like this. So again, broad rotation, but rotation nonetheless here, getting from Mattawoman now getting into Brandywine and Baden. We're talking 301. We've now crossed that here, getting towards Baden here. Cedarville Road is going to be an area we are watching. 381, Evergreen Road, Martin Road, North Keys Road, Crossroad Trail on over towards Dyson Road. These are all locations that we're going to be watching for, in the very least, what could be some pretty gusty winds, but also maybe indicative here of perhaps a bit of rotation. That's definitely going to be something that we are watching. And it looks like we just got a brand new update here from the National Weather Service on this warning we have up, and this is going to be maintained till 7 o'clock. Let me get you a clean update here on this storm. Let's see. Will you cooperate? Yes. So this is as of 6:46, or just now coming in from the National Weather Service. The severe thunderstorm warning is canceled for the District of Columbia, Arlington, and Fairfax counties, but this will continue until 7 o'clock for northwestern St. Mary, southern PG, and northeastern Charles County. At 6:46 p.m., severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Clinton, Maryland, to near Waldorf, to 6 miles south of Marlton, to 7 miles northwest of Golden Beach, to 9 miles southwest of Sheridan Point, and moving east at about 50 miles per hour. This is the main threat here. Wind gusts upwards of 60 to 65 miles per hour here, pushing through portions of Charles County. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will cause some trees and large branches to fall, and this could injure those outdoors as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees, and localized power outages are definitely going to be possible. Unsecured light objects may become projectiles. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Waldorf, Clinton, Fort Washington, Upper Marlboro, Rosaryville, Marlton, Golden Beach, Dunkirk, St. Charles, Wicomico, Akakie, Brandywine, Hughesville, Baden, Mechanicsville, Charlotte Hall, Aquasco, Bryantown, Benedict, and Eagle Harbor. The National Weather Service is not really mentioning much of a tornado threat here. It's continuing to highlight that threat of damaging winds upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. I would really see some of those highest wind gusts really here getting towards the Mechanicsville area, getting up towards about 60 miles per hour. Just moving south to Hughesville, out of Dentsville here, going towards Charlotte Hall, again upwards of 60 miles per hour. Not tornadic at this time, but we are looking at, those that threat of wind also coming through Welcome, Belle Alton, upwards of 60 miles per hour. Radar still showing winds upwards of 60 miles per hour here from Mountain Woman into Brandywine and Baden. Still seeing that broad rotation of sorts, but nothing that would lead me to believe that we have an active tornado on the ground. But it is something that we are going to want to continue to watch with this storm as it tracks north and east. These storms like to kind of pulse up, produce a tornado warning, relax a bit, and then pulse back up as fresh, untouched instability and air parcels get drawn here into the storm. We also have, a pretty nasty storm here moving along the bay side here in southern Anne Arundel County. Don't want to forget about our followers out there. We're talking Annapolis down towards Mayo, Shady Side, south of River, just north of Tracy's Landing here. This has been impacting you all for some time with frequent lightning. No active warnings though, but maybe some indications of some small hail with this storm as it moves out towards the bay and now kind of solidly over the bay with yet another storm over portions of the eastern shore, looking northern portions of Talbot County, just north of Easton, with plenty of lightning to go with all of this. But yeah, active evening here across the region. Again, taking a look at that latest radar scan, I'm not seeing much in the way of tight rotation, still seeing some general rotation that does concern me here into Baden and Brandywine. I would definitely be ready on the go just in case anything does get issued here, as these storms can be quite unpredictable and can definitely kind of pulse up and then pulse down and pulse back up. But all active tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for those areas. They're shaded in yellow across southern PG, Charles, and northern St. Mary's County. This goes until 7 o'clock for that threat of 60-mile-an-hour winds as these storms push through. No active tornado warnings, but severe thunderstorm watch remains up for the entire region till 9. We're going to be looking at this line to push through. We may see some back development as well, maybe another round of storms that pushes through later on this evening as we approach the 10 or 11 o'clock hour. Those may not be severe, but could potentially be allowed as we remain with a lot of instability thanks to the warmth and humidity we saw today. So we are going to continue to track all of this. If any new warnings come through, I'll be back here live with you to track them all and keep you one step ahead of these storms. But thank you for joining me, keeping you one step ahead of these storms. I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one, and please keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for the latest information.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.